some and any. People often confuse with these two words. Today in this video we will talk about the differences between these two and how and where to use them so you never confuse with them again. Let's first talk about any. Any is often used with negative sentences or sentences that have negative meaning or negative sense. You know, sentences that have words like barely or never in them. For example, he didn't have any new information. He didn't have any new information. Or, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. Or you can say, is there any milk left in the refrigerator? Is there any milk left in the refrigerator? You can also say sentences like, I don't know any of them. Or, do you have any pets? Or you can also use sentences with negative meaning like, I barely know any of those. I barely know any of those. Or you can also say, I've never tried any of these ice cream flavors. I've never tried any of these ice cream flavors. There is also an exception to the rule, that is, any can also be used with affirmative sentences, but it can only happen when you are talking about something not too specific, something very random. For example, if you have multiple options to choose from and it doesn't really matter which one you choose, you can use any. Let's take a few examples. Let's say, if you have any ideas, you can share them now. If you have any ideas, you can share them now. This sentence suggests that you are looking for ideas or suggestions, so there can be many. But if you say, do you have any idea how expensive this is? Do you have any idea how expensive this is? Now this sentence is a rhetoric one. Rhetoric questions are those questions that are not really looking for answers. Let's take another example. Let's say, do you have any idea when he got here? Do you have any idea when he got here? Now in this specific question, you are asking for a specific answer to a problem you have. You want to know the time when someone got here. Now these are all the examples of affirmative sentences where any can be used. Let's take a few more examples so you have a better idea. The train will be arriving any time now. The train will be arriving any time now. Now in this sentence, you are not really sure about the time when the train will arrive, so you are suggesting that it can arrive any time now. Let's take another example. You can choose any of the three. You can choose any of the three. Now in this sentence, you are saying that someone has multiple options, or rather three options, and you're asking them to choose any one of these. Why don't we take another example? Let's say, let me know if there is any change. Let me know if there is any change. Now in this sentence, you are asking someone to remind you if there is any change because you are not sure if there will be any. You don't know when or how it will happen. Now one thing I forgot to mention is that any can be used in case of both countable and uncountable nouns. For countable nouns, you can say, do you have any pets? Do you have any pets? For uncountable noun, you can say, do you have any milk left in the refrigerator? Do you have any milk left in the refrigerator? So that was all about any. Now let's talk about some. Some is often used with positive or affirmative sentences. Also, it can be used in case of both countable and uncountable nouns. Let's take a few examples. He had some information about the event. He had some information about the event. Or, he borrowed some chairs last night. He borrowed some chairs last night. You can also say, there were some people in the house. There were some people in the house. Or, you should go home and take some rest. You should go home and take some rest. Let's take a couple more examples. Let's say, he is a lot like his father in some ways. He is a lot like his father in some ways. Or you can say, he had some samples with him. He had some samples with him. Now, there is an exception to this rule as well. Some can also be used in case of question sentences while requesting or offering something to someone. For example, will you get some apples on the way home? Will you get some apples on the way home? Or, would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee? So that's all there is to know about some and any. Now after watching this video, you know the difference between some and any. That is, some is used in case of affirmative or positive sentences and any is used in case of negative and question sentences. Both can be used in case of countable and uncountable nouns. Why don't we take a few more examples before we finish this video? For example, he met some friends at the park. He met some friends at the park. Or, he doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any friends. You can also say, He offered her some coffee. He offered her some coffee. Or they didn't have any coffee at home. They didn't have any coffee at home. So that's it for today, guys. I hope after watching this video you know how to use these two words appropriately. So if you found some value in this video, then do give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.